the audience of John's Gospel. According to Irenaeus, 2nd century, John, the disciple of the Lord, who also leaned upon his breast, published a gospel during his stay at Ephesus. Eusebius, the 4th century church historian, reports the following, quote, "Meanwhile, the holy apostles of our Savior were scattered across the world. Thomas, according to tradition, was allotted Parthia, Andrew, Scythia, and John, Asia, where he stayed until his death," end of quote. Despite the many debates about this evidence, there is no good reason for rejecting it. Both writers are likely to have known more than we do. The internal evidence of the gospel is consistent with the view that the fundamental audience was Jewish and living outside of Palestine. It was also Greek-speaking and very literate. The Qumran discoveries not only indicate the fundamental Jewishness of John's gospel, they also have led to the equally extreme suggestion that John is the most Jewish of all the Gospels. But despite the obvious Jewish character of John's Gospel, John still translates certain Semitic words. For example, Rabbi, Messias, Kephas, Siloam, Golgotha. The audience could not be presumed to understand these Semitic words. Furthermore, the audience must necessarily have been quite literate. In Roman times, you did not write a 21-chapter book for the man in the street. A long book of this nature presupposes a high educational level for its readers. Keep in mind that Greek-speaking Jews were a fruitful evangelistic field in New Testament times. The Hellenists referred to in Acts, Hellenistai, are best understood as Greek-speaking Jews. After his conversion, Paul sought to evangelize the Hellenists of Jerusalem, who responded by trying to kill him. Acts 9:29. The Hellenists were also the object of evangelism in Antioch of Syria, Acts 11:20. The Hellenists must have been ripe targets in the city of Ephesus. There was a synagogue there where Paul evangelized, Acts 18:19. And for all we know, there may have been several. In a commercial center like Ephesus, we should expect a substantial Jewish population and a significant number of successful Jewish entrepreneurs. In New Testament times, Ephesus was a large and prosperous port city located on the western coast of Anatolia, that is, of modern Turkey. It contained a huge outdoor theater, the one referred to in Acts 19, which could accommodate about 24,000 spectators. Cornell and Matthews, in their lavishly illustrated Atlas of the Roman World, tell us this, quote, "The life of Roman Ephesus is revealed not only by the extensive archaeological remains, but by the inscriptions which show the munificence of the leading families and its rivalries with Smyrna for the title First City of Asia. You can still see today the ruins along a colonnaded road at Ephesus, once lined with shops, leading from the harbor to the theater. Of special interest to us right now is the famous library of Celsus. Archaeologists have excavated the remains of this library that was dedicated in the early 2nd century to the Roman governor of the province of Asia. The construction of such a memorial to the governor shortly after the close of the first Christian century is eloquent. It is a powerful testimony to the high level of literary life in first century Roman Ephesus. Thus, when John published the gospel at Ephesus, he could anticipate a significant readership. As Graham Shipley has stated in his very thorough volume, The Greek World After Alexander, quote, "A helpful definition of literature might be the circulated written works of a social elite, read or performed for enjoyment. It is important, however, to define one's elite. In this book," meaning Shipley's book, "science, philosophy, and literature are treated separately, but for many practical purposes they were parts of the same set of social activities carried out by the same individuals from the upper wealth levels of society." and their proteges who devoted their leisure to their chosen mode of cultural creation. End of quote. The original recipients of the fourth gospel could well have been an upper-class Jewish social circle, or a guild composed of educated Jewish artisans or other professionals. Or the fourth gospel could have gone first to a large extended Jewish family, many of whose members were educated readers. The possibilities are numerous. We just don't know which possibility is correct. In any case, John intended to evangelize the original readers.